It's been intense and we are absolutely excited about next year, 2020. I think in any institution's journey, reaching a 10-year mark really is a testament of the resilience as well as the growth of the trust. And so over the years since we were founded, the work that we've done has included setting up 7 Pan-African networks across the African continent, 5 of them being women's networks that are sector-based and really have provided opportunities but collective action for women to really advance themselves across these sectors. We also have a health-focused network that has prioritized engaging government and the private sector, we call them social pacts, in promoting reproductive, maternal, child, as well as adolescent health, and really mobilizing investments in these particular areas. The last network has been a nutrition alliance that cuts across East and Southern Africa that really has been engaging governments as well to prioritize nutrition as a development and an investment issue that really is an economic development priority for the continent. So it's been an exciting journey achieving all the work that we've done, the geographic scope that the trust itself has expanded. We have a presence in 16 countries, so over the last 10 years, reaching 16 countries is something that very few organizations, especially of our size, are able to achieve. So it's been exciting, it's been intense, and as we look forward, it's really about consolidating that work, looking at how we also invest in supporting or contributing to acceleration towards the Sustainable Development Goals, Agenda 2030, because 2030 is just around the corner and there's still a lot of work to be done.
I think it's amazing because back in 2008, I was privileged to be one of the about 100 women that came together with Gracia Machel to form New Faces, New Voices, and that was a long time ago. That was over 10 years ago, actually. We came up with the name New Faces, New Voices. We were at Windsor Hotel, and I remember how passionate we were in terms of changing the narrative around focusing on women. And each one of us were challenged by Mama Machel within our respective areas to make sure we're making a difference. And I took up the Nairobi Securities Exchange challenge. How do we ensure that listed companies start really thinking about gender diversity at the board level? And I was privileged to ensure that we convened a network of all the chairpersons in Kenya of the listed companies. They had never come together before. This was the first time all chairpersons in Kenya of listed companies came together to talk about gender diversity. And it was a closed door session, and it was a real heart-to-heart conversation about why are we not appointing women to our boards. And since then, we have seen that Kenya has made a marked improvement in terms of board diversity. And I think I just came up with the idea, let's have a session, let's bring these guys together, and let's have a conversation and keep each other accountable. And I think I probably would have done it anyway through my line of work, but having the Gracia Machel support and using that platform to convene, I think is what made the difference.
It's been a fantastic journey. I've been delighted to have been involved with the trust since the point that one of their initial networks, New Faces, New Voices, was launched, actually running the network in Kenya. And to me, the Gracia Machel Trust has made Africa smaller. I now have friends across the African continent. I am also aware of the unique talent and skills amongst the continent. I'm also appreciative of different cultures, of foods, and visiting people across Africa is amazing. And I want us to, Gracia Machel has created the opportunity for Africans to collaborate, to do business together and work together. Already at the Trust, the team is a combination of different Africans with the same values. So it opens and broadens your mind and then challenges you. Some of the advocacy initiatives that we have taken on wouldn't have been something I would have had the courage to do without the support of the Trust and knowing that the Trust was there to lend a voice and lend a hand. And they've really supported our activities in Kenya that we've gone on, And this investment fund is just another one of activities that the Gracia Machel Trust has put its vote of confidence behind.
I believe it's been a great journey, and it's been a journey that has been effective to women, especially from the great lessons and the mentorship opportunities that women have been accorded. So I look forward to it achieving more things and more opportunities for women around the continent of Africa.
It's been interesting for me. My involvement with the Gracia Machel Trust has exposed me to mentorship. It's exposed me to a circle of women who are brilliant, like very high achievers. So it's really changed my thinking and challenged my thinking. It's opened my mind up to what is possible. I used to think of my business would be like Nairobi. I used to think local. Thanks to the Gracia Machel Trust, that is so done. I have a network of women across this continent, thanks to GMT. And yeah, I think bigger. And I have the networks to actually grow bigger. So even with my brand, Dadasphere, I think of it as a Pan-African brand. I don't say Kenyan women telling their stories, I say African women telling their stories. So that has been amazing. And also just exposure to like the political class across Africa, how they think, what they're interested in. Things I never knew about, like money, because I never studied money. I was a philosopher, programmer, whatever, that's my background. But it's, as I wanted to get into business, NFNV has kind of forced me to understand how money works, how money moves. Yeah, so that's been an eye-opener.
My name is Valentine Njoroge, and the Gracia Machel Trust has been life-changing for me. Mama Gracia challenged me to actually do research on media in Kenya and find out where Kenyan women stood in the media. And that research, it took a year to complete. We spoke to people all across the country, and the findings were amazing. So now we're working intentionally towards having more women share their stories in the media and change the actual narrative. So women are seen no longer as victims, but achievers, as inspirational people, and as the fantastic contributors that we actually are.
Being the media space, I believe we have a platform. I believe we are powerful to amplify the efforts that the different silos have. But 10 years is a big thing, and I think from the conversation I had today, it starts with one step. You start by influencing the sphere. You start by influencing your own sphere, then you move outward. And I think that's, judging from the conversation today, that's what the trust has been able to do, and even impacting even further networks. And it's just all about a ripple effect, really, at the end of the day. Yeah.
The journey has been great. I was one of the founding trustees for New Faces, New Voices, and for me, it has been a great journey. I've been part of the women's voice across the continent, pushing for financial inclusion for women, pushing for women at the leadership level in the financial sector. So I think that journey has been great over the last 10 years.